mainly in favor of that, so.
Just come around. If you would, just come around and have a seat at the table. I'm having trouble hearing you. Ms. Dunklin, if you would. Ms. Dunklin, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. If you would, just push the mic, push the button there, and there you go. If you would identify yourself, and then you're recognized to make your comment.
I'm Sarah Dunklin. I'm 1st Congressional District Chair of the Republican Party of Arkansas. I am a female farmer, one of the few in this state. I've also served 2 terms on the USDA FSA State Board, and I have also served on the Mississippi River Parkways Commission. I do agree with Representative Speaks and that DJ and Chico should remain in the 1st, but I will say, I will add to that and say that Arkansas is, our row crop farmers in Arkansas, we feed the world. And I think when it comes to drawing these maps, sometimes we forget that. And so part of Lincoln, a lot of Lincoln, Drew and Ashley are row crop farmers. And when we throw those in, our congressman is also in agreement with keeping all the counties that we have in the first now, because the goal is to add counties to the 1st and the 4th. But our economies of the row crop farmers are all similar. And so it seems to me that sometimes when we are looking at which way these counties are going to go down south, there's favoritism shown to those tree farmers and us on the east, southeast corner of the state. While we definitely appreciate those counties being moved into the 1st so we can be with like economies during the last redistricting, we definitely want to keep our row crop farmers together. Arkansas is the #1 rice producer in the country. I did represent rice on the USDA FSA State Board. Being able to have a congressman that you can call that is on both the Ag Committee and the House Intelligence, and as Rick sees it, it is definitely an issue of national security. It really helps when you've got all the row crop farmers in the same area who are helping to feed the country. So that would be my one comment there. I'm also for keeping other topographical regions together in the state, so whether it be a river basin or other areas. So thank you, Representative Speaks, for your map.
Just a minute. Any questions from Ms. Dunklin? Just a minute. Any questions from committee members? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony. Thank you. Just a minute. Representative Payton has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Ms. Dunklin. Appreciate your input. But I'm just trying to question the reasoning a little bit.
Okay.
So, row crop farmers, if they're all grouped into one congressional district, it seems that they would have less representation than if they influence 2 congressional districts. If you have some of row crop farming represented in 2 different districts, then there's 2 different congressmen out of 245 that they could influence and speak to.
Well, I believe that Representative Payton has been tried in the past. So last time Chico and DJ were moved into the 1st Congressional District, and it worked a lot better because, and so in Lincoln, right? So with those counties in the 1st Congressional District, they were able to have representation through a congressman who sat on the Ag Committee. It worked a lot better. So in other words, if you're a farmer in Chico County, okay, or in Lincoln County, Lincoln's Gold and Grady, a lot of farms in that county as well, and I would say Ashley County and Drew County as well. If you're a farmer in those counties, it's a lot easier to call up the guy on the Ag Committee, right, than it is to call up the congressman that does it only, that's all he has is just this little piece over there of row crops. So I would disagree with that.
Well, and I appreciate that. I mean, I'm in business and I'm a car dealer. But, you know, as a car dealer, I mean, if something's going to influence my business, I wouldn't feel restricted to only contacting the representation that owns in that district. I know as a state representative, I'm contacted by a lot of people outside of my district about issues that may be, that I'm working on. Especially if you're on the ag committee, it seems like you take a call from a farmer outside your district. But I appreciate it. Thank you for answering my question. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Seeing no further questions from committee members, Ms. Dunklin, would you use